Hi there, happy VEDA 16. Well, actually you've got a little bonus video today. It's not a very long one, showing you what kind of mess I left behind in my craft room that I'm going to have to sort out. I mean, unfortunately, apart from the bad light, there was also the fact that the camera cut off. So I spent the last 15 minutes or so talking to myself. Which I often do, but we don't talk about that, do we? So a lot of the things I wanted to show you didn't get shown. So yeah, believe me, there was more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and organise it for a better, sunnier day, and hopefully try and show it you in a different format so that I'm not pulling things out of boxes, because you see me do that. I'm going to hopefully maybe have them on a rail or something that can just go like that through them, which would mean that you get to see everything in a much quicker way. So you won't have to plough through me going rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. Whee! Well, I still haven't finished this, even though I call it finished. I call it finished, but I haven't done the fringe, so it's not really finished, is it? But yeah, that's my problem is, once I finish the actual crochet part or something, I think, oh, you're finished. I kind of forget about the bit you've got to sew it all together, or you've got to do the edgings, or you've got to put fringing on things. Yeah, I'm very bad at that. So hence things get sort of put to one side, and that's why you suddenly get a rush of stuff that goes on my Etsy page, because I've kind of hoarded it and thinking I'll wait for a sunny day when I can take the photographs, or I'll wait while I've got 2 or 3, and then 2 or 3 turns into 10, you know. I mean, the last time I did an Etsy update, I actually put 48 things on it. But I mean, admittedly they were little hand warmers and things, they weren't big items, but you know, that's just the way I roll. So if you're in Manchester and you would like to come and look at the mess in my craft room and assist me, you're more than welcome. I'm no cook, so I can't provide you with a cake or anything, but I could probably find some biscuits, you know, and coffee or tea. But I must admit, if it's tea, you may have to make your own, because I am absolutely rubbish at tea making. We've explained that before, I think, in another video way back. Well, we've sort of got a little bit of sunshine today. Lots and lots of clouds, but even though they're white, I can actually see dark ones rolling in across, because that's the way the wind's blowing, and the darker ones are sadly coming my way. And I do have to pop out, like I said before, I've got to pop up to the post office to post off some sales. Yay! I am so pleased to get some sales. Just when you're beginning to think, nobody loves me, nobody wants anything of mine, you know, and then you get some sales and you think, oh, it is worth carrying on, you know. People do like my stuff. Maybe they were just a bit short of money after Christmas, who knows. But the lift it gives you when you, I mean, you probably, some of you out there sell things as well, but when you get a sale, it doesn't matter how small it is, even if it's on your pair of hand warmers or something like that, it just makes you feel appreciated. Yeah, appreciated. Anyway, apart from going to the post office today, what I've got to do is tidy up the craft room if I get round to it today. I've got a funny feeling that won't happen today. I got up very late. I told you my time clock is absolutely gone to pot. I'm getting my 8 hours in, but I'm getting them at the wrong time of day. I'm going to bed at maybe, I think I went to bed actually about 1 or 1:30, which was quite early for me. But then I kind of watched the clock go round, and I think the last time I looked at it, it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. So then, of course, I slept until 11, which gave me a headache, because I don't like doing that. And I missed most of the day. I probably missed the better part of the day. And then I was annoyed with myself. Believe me, I've tried going to bed at 10 o'clock in the evening, and the same thing happens. I watch the clock go round till about 4, and then I sleep in. I have to really set my alarm if I've got somewhere to go, you know. I'll get people to send me a text message saying, wakey, wakey. Because I'm dreadful these days, and I never used to be. I used to survive on, well, mostly I do survive on about 4 hours sleep, because mostly I go to sleep about 3 or 4 and wake up at 8. But just this last week or so, I think I mentioned before I'm due a change of the CPAP breathing machine I use because of my apnea. I'm due a review of that, and I'm going to say I don't think that the mask is working properly. It's giving me dents in the side of my face. You might have wondered why I've got strange dimples at the side. It's because the mask fits down to there and it's squashing in the side of my face, giving me a bit of a weird contour. Not that I've not got a weird contour anyway. Anyway, what am I making now? Well, I think when I was on my live video, I was trying to start this again. It is still available on Etsy, but you'll have to search about for it. It's called, it says Promise Me Pullover, but I think it's actually listed as a bridal vest or something like that. It isn't listed as a Promise Me pullover, that I can tell you. And I don't know where I bought it from because it doesn't say. Oh, it's from the Crochet Fantasy Bridal issue, April 1987. That's where it's from originally. But this obviously is a photocopy, and I will absolutely love it, love it, love it. Anyway, I couldn't start it while I was doing the live because I was trying to count. And trying to count was just not on the agenda. Anyway, I'm using this ice, which is the antibacterial fragrant that drives Kelly nuts because she said it smells like toilet fragrance. You know, the toilet things you spray in the bathroom. I don't find it too bad actually. I usually wash things through before I put them up for sale. Doesn't have a colour, typical of ice yarns. I think they still do it. I hope they still do it because I really love crocheting with it. It's kind of a double knitting, but it's slightly thicker. But it isn't as thick as the worsted or the Red Heart. But it just seems to crochet up so well for me. It's so smooth. This is the part I'm doing at the minute. I started it off. That's the bit I'm doing from last night. But I did actually finish off. Now this is like the front, and the back's supposed to be the same, but I'm a bit unsure whether I would want the back to be this dipped. The ones I've done before, I've taken them further up the back, you know, and done a scoop, but not quite as deep. And it isn't this short because it's got to have a peplum, you know, on the bottom of it. So it isn't a waist. It's meant to go to the waist, and then it's meant to have a peplum. And actually on the pattern they put a drawstring through the waist. But I've not really done that. I've just left it as it is because I don't think... Well, if you're my kind of size, this isn't my kind of size, this is smaller than me. But if you're my kind of size, you don't want to emphasise a waistline that you've not got, you know. So I don't really put the drawstring in it. But anyway, this is obviously smaller than I. And this will be going on my Etsy when it's finished. But I think I'm going to do the back a bit higher up. I don't know whether anybody would want a back as low as this. I mean, they might want to dip in it, but maybe, you know, from about there, sort of upwards. Yeah, maybe there. I don't know. I don't really know. Because I've still got to get the decreases in, haven't I? Or maybe not. Maybe not. Because if the back's going across, it'll sew anyway, won't it, to there. I shall think about that. I shall have a little ponder. Yep. I think I mentioned on the little short video that's taking forever to upload on YouTube, I don't know why, that I'm going to do a bit of shopping this afternoon because I didn't go at the weekend. My niece was, where was she this weekend? She's a little gadabout. She was in Oxford this weekend. just having a few days off, yeah, before she goes back to school. I mean, she's not of the age to go to school, if you know what I mean. She works in the school. She's a head teacher, and so her and her hubby were going down to spend a few days down in Oxford. So hopefully I'll go shopping, big shop next weekend. But as my scooter's going in any day, they'll just phone me and say they're coming for it. And it's usually missing for a whole day and they bring it back the day after that, you know. So I like to keep myself topped up, you know, with the bread and the milk and the bits and pieces, yeah. I mean, I've got a freezer full of food, so there's no way I'll starve. It's just the usuals you run out, isn't it? Like the fresh bread. I don't mind putting a few like muffin things, baps, bread cakes, whatever you want to call them, in the freezer, but I'm not too keen on putting a full loaf in there because I don't think it tastes the same when it comes out again. So anyway, that's the story of me today. Yes, by the time I've been to the post office and back and been shopping and back, it's going to be tea time-ish. So I definitely won't get in the craft room again this week. Even though I can hardly put my feet in there, as you can see. The garments don't normally live in there. They live in the boxes in another room, yeah. In the what used to be my craft room that was so tiny I could hardly put my feet in it, if you remember. They normally live in there, in their boxes. But they'd kind of got a bit mixed up. I just kept putting things in a box. So like I like to keep all my shawls in one box, all my garments in another box, all my baby things in another box, you know. And then when somebody orders something, when somebody buys something from Etsy, I don't have to go through every single box to find what I'm supposed to be looking for, you know. So I do try to be a bit more organised, but of late I've just been putting them in a box that had a bit of space, you know, which doesn't really keep me very organised. So they all want folding up neatly, because I just put them back in any old how. They all want folding up neatly, putting back in their boxes, and hopefully making their way downstairs when it's a nice hot sunny day, and then I can go out on the decking, because I've got a clothes rail as well, so I can put them on there, so I can be a bit quicker showing them. Yeah, I can go da 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 da, instead of having to go rummage 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 in a box, yeah. And then you can see the other half that you missed. Well, it's not really other half, maybe another quarter to a third that you missed. But it could have been something that you liked in the bit that you missed. So she, ever hopeful, ever the saleswoman, yeah. I used to be a good saleswoman when I was face to face with people, yeah. But kind of doesn't work over Etsy, you know. You can't go da-da. It might be better if they allow you to put a little short video on Etsy instead of just little pictures. You know, if you could like sort of wear the thing and twizzle around with it on, you know, if it was a shawl. Let people see how it would look on them rather than on one of these mannequin things. Because they don't really look like a human, do they, when they're all said and done? You know, they look a bit, well, obviously they look wooden because they are. I don't know whether they're wooden or polystyrene. The stand at the bottom's wooden. This bit's polystyrene, I think, because you can actually pin into it, so that's what it is. So I don't know whether I can get another row round the end of it, or whether it's going to take that much for the fringing. Because once you start fringing it, you've kind of committed yourself, haven't you? But I don't want to do another row and then find I don't have enough for fringe, because it does take quite a bit for fringe. So I might just call it a day at that and fasten it off, and then do my fringing. Find out what book is suitable for winding round, you know. I have books that do a fringe that big. I have books that do a fringe that big, you know, because you wind it round. And I'm a bit obsessive. I like to count. I don't do all the fringing at once. I just count like that, and then I cut. And then if I know that like 40 winds, if you know what I mean, does so many tassels, then it gives me an idea of how many more winds I've got to do the rest of it. Yeah, so because I like to have them all even. It's something in me that makes me do things even. It's like when I do an edging on anything, I like to have the same number of edgings on one side as I do on the other. And if I don't, then I get obsessive. I just take it all apart and start doing it again. Because I hate to see a garment that's got more shells on one side than the other and it hangs down and droops. I like it to be all level and even and hang down. I think I told you I'm obsessive like that, and I need to have my stripes matching up. You know, if there's stripes on it, they've got to match where the button is. I've seen so many garments, you know, and there's stripes like that, and when they sew the button on, the stripes don't match, they just go like that. And I'm like, oh, please, take your button off and sew it on again. I mean, on some garments, the number of times I've sewn buttons on is ridiculous, really. But if I hang it on the model, the mannequin, and I think, no, that button's not hanging, it's not in the right line, to take it off and do it again. I do it with things that I buy as well, you know. I don't like the way they're draping or hanging, and I think the button's not quite in the right spot. It can only be a ½ inch out, you know, but I'm not happy until I adjust it, yeah. Weird. Well, the wind's getting up now. The black clouds are actually going the opposite direction now. They're not blowing towards me, which is good, isn't it, since I've got to go out my scooter. I've told you before, I hate that rain cape. It comes over me like that and over the scooter. And I feel like I'm in a bubble, you know, sort of peering out through this little hood thing. I dread to think what I look like. I will not do a video, that's one thing. No, not doing a video of me in my rain cape. So I'd rather just get wet. Except that I'm not supposed to get the, you know, the electronics on the control panel wet. So it's blowing up now, so I think it's time I actually uploaded this video. Then it can be going onto YouTube while I'm out. Because the way it's running, I think the video that I just filmed was only about 4 minutes long. But it's just took 1 hour and 10 minutes to upload. It doesn't usually. My uploading's usually quite fast, but for some strange reason today, it's not behaving. It's like my tablet. I cannot get my tablet to work properly with Instagram. It just jams up, or when I try to post a photograph, it just says it won't post it. Or I don't know what goes on with it. I can read Instagram on my PC, but I can't put things on. I wish they'd arrange it so you could off a big PC. I really do. But I suppose it wouldn't be Instagram then, would it, if it wasn't from your phone or your camera or whatever. I've not tried it with my phone yet. I haven't done that yet. Maybe I should try it with my phone. Who knows? Maybe I'll get dragged into the 21st century or whatever it is, the 20th century. I never know what it is. 21st, I think. Kicking and screaming, you know. I mean, Zoe, 24 Carat Crochet, bless her, she does try her best. It's like this live video thing. I cannot work out how to start the video from the intro. It just keeps saying I'm not encoded or something like that. So it's driving me nutty. So if I do any more, I'm just going to tell you on the day, you know. It's usually a Saturday. It's usually 9 o'clock my time. So wherever you are in the world, you need to sort of calculate it out, because hello, we're talking to goldfish brain here. I don't know how to work that out. And America makes it difficult because you've got about, I don't know how many time zones, haven't you? So if you work out what 9 PM on a Saturday is on your time zone, and then mark it on your calendar or whatever if you don't want to miss it. Because I get so many messages saying, oh dang, I missed it again, you know. Yes, I'm talking to you, Linda. Linda's always saying, oh, I missed it again. Yeah. Yep, well, you've got no excuse now, Linda. I want you there. Yeah. Right, I'm going now because it's getting breezy on the prom out there. I'm not going. I don't want to get wet, and I've got to parcel up the things that are going to go to the post office yet. So disorganised, but that's me, isn't it? You put up with me, don't you? So kudos to you for putting up with me. I don't know how you do it. Right, bye to you all. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and happy crafting. Bye now.